Guess what, boys? It's the Brass Dragon again. And this video, I swear, is going to be shorter than the last. The last one was like 53 minutes long. This one's going to be anywhere between 5 and 52. And this one's about player character death in D&D. Controversial topic, I know. And I made a big old tweet about this a long time ago. It ruffled some jimmies, as I thought it would, and this video is probably going to ruffle some jimmies too, because I'd like to explain and I'd like to rant about my opinion, my personal opinion on the internet. Ooh, fucking hell. Right. I think you should kill off your player characters. There we are. End of video. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Nah. I wouldn't. I need to rant. I'm not going to be, to the point. I can't be straightforward. I gotta fucking go in 15 different circles before I actually get my point across. So, here's my actual opinion on it. If you're running a game that's like old school, or you're just doing like a dungeon crawl, or you sit there and you say right at the start, look, guys, bring 52 backup characters, because like you are gonna lose so many characters this campaign. I'm not gonna lie, this will be the Dark Souls of D&D, but instead of like you just restarting with the same character like in a video game, nah. New character, mate, new character. If that's the case and that's how you enjoy the game, great. You can click off the video right now because you're not going to like the rest of this. Because I think if you're trying to tell a story, that's what most modern D&D players want to do. And bear in mind, there's no right or wrong way. If you're listening to this now, you're telling a story in my D&D, disgusting behaviour. Nah, look. A lot of people like to tell a story. It's an outlet for creativity, right? A lot of writers like to play D&D. And, we get writer's block. We can't even finish a bloody manuscript, and if we do, we just end up rewriting it 100 bloody times. Never publish anything. Look, D&D is a great way of it's writing, it's creativity, it's world building, you do all that. Wonderful. But if you're trying to tell a story, right, you're like, right, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're starting off, and we're going to be fighting an ancient red dragon at the end of this, and I want your characters to get involved. They're going to have emotional attachments to the BBG, right? They're going to be, I want the role play to be good, because I love a role play session in D&D. It's sometimes the best sessions we have, right? You can do like 15 combat sessions in a row, one role play session, and everyone's all of a sudden like in a completely different mindset. They're all like getting into character, and it's wonderful. But you're not going to have that if you keep killing the buggers off. I'm not saying don't kill the player characters. I'm saying you shouldn't aim to do it. You got people like literally sat there going, right, I've killed 15 player characters this session. Like, oh man, I'm such a good DM. Oh my god. Like it's like Gimli and Legolas, like comparing kills. I myself am sitting pretty on 43. Like, bro, any DM can kill their player characters. Any DM can be like, right, rocks fall, everyone dies. Guess what, guys? I just killed 6 player characters in one move. Man, I'm such a good DM. Bro, why is no one taking my game seriously? Why are people walking away from my table? Oh my god. Look, when I was first DMing, my first 2 campaigns, I'm on like campaign 3 now, I was an absolute murder hobo of a DM. Honestly, I had a fucking bard like boss playing a violin in like a dance room as one of the first bosses, like level 5 boss of my characters in my first campaign. And he had random abilities that I would roll on. And he would cast a spell based on what the roll was. And he rolled Power Word Kill at level 5. The paladin that I killed with it, like the player character, oh my god, the dude was pissed. He was fucking mad. And you know what? After that encounter, I deleted Power Word Kill from my games because it was actually unfair. The one thing I actually hate is when you have like a player character death and it's because they failed like one roll, or they didn't have a roll at all, like in Power Word Kill. But like I don't want to have, right, a trap on a door and it's like, oops, you forgot to investigate the door before opening it. You're dead. Roll a new character, please. Like, Look, I just had a player character death yesterday in my game. Literally yesterday. This is almost like, we're almost 3 years into this campaign. Like 2.5, I don't know. I've lost track. But this character, not only has he been a long time character in this game, he was in other games too. And he was a really good character. The player who played him, I've never seen him get into character like he has with this character. This was his, what's the word? Magnum opus of player characters. Every other character he makes is a joke. But this one, he was still a joke, but he was actually like a clever joke. Do you know what I mean? He was like a well-written comedic joke. And he was the bard, and he was the leader of the group. He was a majestic leader, but he was a bit of a swashbuckling criminal. Fancy, flamboyant criminal, but he was a criminal. And he decides to go on a heist. And we set this heist up, and there was a bit of miscommunication because he didn't understand what the hell was going on, right? And I didn't understand what his plan was supposed to be. But we figured out in the end, basically there's a magic mirror. And inside this magic mirror, right, there's an evil entity, okay, inside the magic mirror. And his cursed sword that he's walking around with since, like, the beginning of the campaign, that contains 1/2 of the spirit of an evil entity. And the other evil entity in the mirror is the other half. So the sword wants to be reunited with the mirror to absorb that other half so he can become whole and unlock his full power, right? So, he's going around looking for this mirror. It's being held by this little mage guild in town called the Cosmic Conclave. And they know that the sword that he carries is looking for the mirror, right? The wizard of the group did a whole storyline where they figured this out, and they know that the bard with his sword, the sword wants to be reunited with the mirror. So they put it in a safe house, and they have a ship come to collect it, right, to take it away. The bard discovers this plot, and he does this heist where he's got his own little goons, his own little minions. Can't say goons anymore, the Zoomers have ruined that word. And they kidnap the captain. It was quite easy. They just got him drunk, had some wenches to seduce him. The bard stole his clothes. He had to shave his hair and his epic mustache to disguise himself as the captain, because I knew he was going to disguise himself as the captain, so I deliberately made the captain bald, like an egg. Because the bard was he's very charismatic. He's got like a nice twirly mustache and like fabulous hair. And I was like, this is going to be so good. Because he can't do a magic disguise because he's sneaking into a wizard enclave. They're going to see right through it. He has to do a proper one. So he had to shave his head, shave his mustache, look like a fucking egg. And in he goes, right? He gets to the mirror, and the wizard just assumes he's the captain to come pick it up. And escorts him to the mirror and is like, here it is. Don't mind that rune on the floor. There's like a big blue rune right in front of the mirror. And he's like, okay then. Steps in, wisdom saving throw. It's a hold person rune. Right? With a DC of 18. He rolls like a 1, and then he re-rolls and rolls like a 13. So, it's over for him. He's paralyzed. And the wizard NPC's like, hang on a minute. We activate, we set that rune up specifically so that it would only go off if Silverstrike, which is the name of the cursed sword, was to enter its vicinity. Now, why would our courier captain set this rune off? I wonder. And then they search him, and they find the blade on him. So they cut his arm off. They try and break the cursed link between him and the sword, summoning a bunch of other mages to help out. And the bard had a chance to Misty Step out of there, right? When his arm got cut off, I was like, there is a brief moment where the paralysis wears off and you can try and escape. But instead of trying to do that, he threw a firebomb at the ground where he and these wizards were all clustered together in a wooden shack, mind you. Massive Beirut level explosion. They all survived because it's 5th edition. He only rolled 41 damage. But he was then like, right, I'm going to try and grab my sword, right, plunge it into the mirror, yeah, for that power that it wants. And maybe with that power I can escape. I was like, that's a good idea. Roll a sleight of hand. Because his arm was still being held by the wizard NPC with the sword in it. And he's like, roll a sleight of hand to grab the sword. And I contested it with the wizard, a fucking wizard, rolling strength. The wizard beat him. He didn't have the sword. The entity escaped anyway because the mirror exploded and it just escaped. It grabbed the sword, it betrayed him, it killed one of the NPCs, it fucked off, and the character died to a helmed horror, which was like one of the wizard's guardians. I gave him like 3 or 4 chances to get out of that situation. That was not an instant kill. That was entirely player decision because he didn't investigate the rune. And then even then, I was like, right, you can roll this to see if you survive. Roll this, see if you survive. Roll this, see if you survive. He failed all the rolls. It was emotional. It was impactful, right? The rest of the group got word of this through one of the wizards casting message to our wizard saying, bro, there's been a development. You need to come back to town. And it's changed the trajectory of the entire story again, just like when the paladin died. That, right there, is how I handle PC death. It's an impactful moment. It literally alters the course of the story. Okay? Now compare this to my campaign 2. I killed off loads of characters in that. I had a death knight running around Tutorial Island with my level 3 players. Okay? I killed like 6 players in one game. Oh, I'm such a good DM. I'm such a fucking good DM. Oh my god. Oh, I'm such a good DM. All the people on Twitter are going to love me for this one. But I got to a point, right? Here's an example of what happens when you keep killing off your player characters all the time. This one dude was on his 4th character. And he called it like fucking Berry Fickle Fanbear. His 3rd character was literally named like Dickface. Not actually that, but it was something very, very similar. And he went up. He got bored of that character. It was a good concept of a character. It was a bard, but he was an artist rather than a musician. And he got bored of that character after like 3 sessions. We were in a dungeon, and he walks up to the dungeon boss and is like, "Please kill me. Please just please kill my character off. I hate this character. Please kill me. Please just end my life." Now Jack, who was playing the druid, right? He was the healer. He was still trying to be in character. He was still trying to be realistic. So he's trying to say, I will save you, Bard. I will heal you. I'll keep you alive. And the Bard's like, no. I want to die, please. I would love to die. Oh, that's my favourite. Just please kill this character off. Please kill me off. I hate this character so much. And it kind of destroys the immersion. I had to retcon that entire event by introducing a false Hydra later on. Which, if you don't know what that is, look it up. But that's the difference. And that was like did that really just happen? Like, what the fuck was that? Kind of almost destroys the vibe of the entire dungeon. And that's, like, if you keep killing off your player characters, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get memes, right? The guy who played the Bard, he's on his 3rd character in Jack's campaign. The second character, his 1st character died off because he wasn't paying attention, and Jack got vengeful and was like, right, you know what, I'm just killing him. Gone. I hate, he wasn't paying attention, he's dead. So he literally goes, right, my 2nd character is going to be the biggest meme ever. And he makes like a frog wizard called Pipsqueak. Well, it's Pipwick Toadwizzle or something like that. It was a grung, like a little grung wizard. And it's like, it was, I mean, to be fair, he likes frogs. You know, it was a meme, but it grew on us. And then when that character died, again, so he's on his 3rd character now, he goes, right, I'm going to make the most busted, stupid, annoying character I can ever imagine. And he's not alone in that mentality, right? I've even had it before. I've always thought, like, if I die to bullshit, I'm not going to care about my next character. I'm not going to put effort into the story, into the roleplay, into the backstory. I am just going to make a fucking meme or a throwaway character that I don't give a shit about. And this leads to what I like to call a Ship of Theseus event, right? So, if you don't know what the Ship of Theseus is, it's the whole idea of, like, if you have a ship, and then over time you replace each plank one by one, at what point does it become another ship? Imagine that with a D&D group. You start off with one group, and over time, each character dies off, until what you end up with at the end is a completely different group to what you started with. Bro, I hate that shit. I actually hate it. Imagine you're reading a book like Game of Thrones, and every character at the end of the book is just a completely different character with nothing to do with the original characters. George R. R. Martin's tried this, and he's written himself into a hole, right? Like, imagine you're fighting the Red Dragon BBG. You're all there, and it's like, guys, remember when this Red Dragon burnt down your village, and it killed your father, it kidnapped your sister, it murdered your daughter, right? It blew up your house. Remember all that shit? And the player's like, no, that was 4 characters ago. I'm currently playing Dick Nozzle Blunt Smoker, and he's a toad, and he smokes weed. Oh. There's nothing more anticlimactic. You're like, yes, we finally, after 3 years of playing this campaign, we're at the BBEG, and not one character has any connection to him because you all got made 5 sessions ago because the last group died to a bloody level 9 fireball that I decided to put on a wooden door in the middle of a cellar. Oh, yeah, you were walking down a corridor and the floor flipped over and flung you into a fucking sphere of annihilation. Like, listen, there's no right or wrong way to play the game, right? If you are the sort of player or DM that loves that style of game and your group is okay with it, go for it. What I hate, though, is this whole DM versus player mentality, or player versus DM, which is another common thing, especially in 5th edition. You get these builds, or how to make a broken build that absolutely fucking annihilates all of your DM's effort that they put in over the last 3 years of this campaign. How to end the campaign that you're playing in so that you and the rest of the players and the DM no longer have a game to play every Sunday because you ended it because you cast Force Cage. Oh, I hate that shit. But I hate the DM doing it too. I hate the DM going like, I'm going to kill off so many player characters this session. Oh, it's going to be glorious. Oh, I'm going to do it all the time. Oh, yeah. Oh, if my player characters don't pay attention, the Tarrasque is appearing. They're level 3. Doesn't matter. It's going to be so funny. They're going to take my game so seriously because I'm killing their character off. They're going to love it. They're going to, oh, what's that? They're all getting annoyed and they're leaving. It's the players who are at fault. They're pussies. They don't deserve to play this game. Gatekeeping's good. That is an unironic comment I've actually received on the Twitter post about player character death. Someone literally went, if your players can't handle character death, they aren't allowed to play D&D. Bro, chill out. It's a fucking game between friends. People forget we're playing a game. Like, people actually forget we're playing a game. Like, if no one at your table's having fun, then you're doing it wrong. Right? I said there's no right or wrong way to play the game. Yeah, if your players are having fun. If your players enjoy losing characters all the time, go for it. Run a deadly gauntlet. Who cares? If your players are more, I want to get invested in the character and I don't want to die to bullshit, then don't keep killing them off to bullshit. Because eventually they're gonna get tired of your game and just stop caring or leave. And then you don't have a group. And it's hard enough to find a D&D group nowadays. It really is. And it really shows when the DM just doesn't give a shit. Like, the atmosphere, it's not good. So don't be adversarial to your players. And the players shouldn't be adversarial to the DM either. If the player's whole thing is, I'm going to ruin the DM's game, that's just as stupid as the DM going, I'm going to ruin this player's life. He put 4 hours of effort into that character, I'm going to kill him off to a spike trap, like, straight away. Just got to chill out. Right? I need to do that more often nowadays. I never do. That's it. That's my rant. I'm hoping that was less than 53 minutes. Cheers, boys.